Today's project is we are going to be replacing a extra large drain pan. Let me get the part number over here. 061D00089 drain pan extra large, and this is for an Amana Goodman furnace, and it is going under here. This drip pan with this waterproof glue was just a temporary fix. This won't hold long term. It will drip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this side right here. You can see it's already starting to move a little bit. And I'm going to have to bend these corners so that way I can get the side off, and then I can go ahead and I'm going to get a 2x4 up inside there, or possibly two of them, and then you can hook to this outer edge right here, and then I'll get some wire or some cable, rope, whatever you have available, and I will hoist this up and lift it just enough that this thing can be elevated, pan will come out, new pan will go in, and everything will be put back together. So in order to do this, you're going to have to take a buttload of sheet metal screws out. That's just from the back panel, and I believe 1, 2, 3, 4 over here, and then you got a whole bunch over on this side. Plus I'm going to take the pieces off of here because these screws, they put them in backwards, and I don't know if that's how it's designed to go or what the deal is, but you can see right there screw holes, and they got the screws put in, so I'm actually going to have to lift this up and find a way to get inside of here, pull this off, and then put this in the correct direction, at least the screws. I don't know why they put them in that way. I don't know if it was just done for irritation or if they're supposed to go in that way, but I'm not putting them in that way. So let's go ahead and get this all finished up. Again, I had to get this out of here. Probably going to have to take this off on the inside there just to get this panel off, so I have access to be able to get everything up the way I need to do it. So well, you're riding right along with me, so let's go ahead and knock this out. This is the plan. I got some 2x4s here, or a 2x4, and this is just a block of wood. Some laundry line, some nylon rope. I have a 6mm socket. I have walkie impact, or I should say a ratchet. And I plan on putting 2x4s across inside of there to hold the weight of this, and I'm going to thread the rope through here, and I'm going to lift this thing up just enough that I can get this pan out from under it. I have to take this section off so I can get to the back and take off the plate, because I'm assuming, let's not just assume, yep, there's a plate back there. So there's a plate there, there's a plate there, and the screws are in backwards over there. So anyway, that's going to be the plan of action. I had to go find another socket. It takes 8mm for the majority of these, and then 6mm, I think. No, not even 6. It's got to be a 7.5. This is frustrating with these screws here, because I might just use the flathead screwdriver. This is starting to get on my nerves a little bit, because I tried a 8, I tried a 7, and I tried a 6. 6 is slightly off and 7 doesn't fit. So what does that tell you? It's probably somewhere in between. But I can just go ahead and do this. Take these off. Now these are the long ones. They go on the bottom. All the other ones are fairly short, and I'm trying to keep them separated by, this is the one for all the plate in the back, and then plate on the side, the long ones, I'm just putting over on the left side, and then all the sheet metal screws that belong in this are going on that left side as well. So let's go ahead and get this knocked out. I'll show you what it looks like when I get this face off. So this is what I did, is I went out in my toolbox, and I got a 1/4, and this is a 1/4 and a 1/4 socket. So 1/4 drive. I get pieces of metal and stuff stuck in my finger. Gloves would have been a benefit. So anyway, you got this right here. Adapter. This is a 3/8 drive with a 1/4 adapter connected to a 1/4 socket, and then the 1/4 socket, if it'll focus, which it won't, is what I had to use to take out all these really shiny ones. Like I said, the long ones, the little tiny ones, and I'll show you from here, the long ones. The top portion up here are all the the smaller screws 2 smaller screws here, 2 smaller screws there, small screw up there, and then way down at the end over on that corner, there's a small screw. I have to take it out with a crescent wrench. Long screw over here, and believe me, you're going to want something like this ratchet, this electric ratchet, because it makes all the difference in the world. Otherwise, you're going to be turning that thing forever with this wrench. If time is money, right? Isn't that what they say? But basically taking this all apart, so you see how far I got it. And this is actually way lighter than I expected it to be. I thought it was going to be much heavier, but it's not. So I think I can get this pan out fairly easily. I was able to get this screw backed off by going underneath. I'm going to do the same thing to the other one. And then once I can actually maneuver this out of the way, then I'm going to go ahead and get those other 2 screws off and get all the screws off the plate. And truthfully, I don't even think I'm going to have to do that. I thought, well, maybe I'll have to, but I'm starting to think that that's not going to be necessary. It's just going to be a matter of leaving everything intact as one unit so this thing doesn't bend and flex. You see right there, it's basically two units that are stitched together. So I just got to get the screws out from back there, and then I can put them in this direction instead of putting them. I mean, there's absolutely no reason. If you look underneath here, there's that glue. Why in the world would you put the screws in backwards? You know, I don't know if that's supposed to be designed that way. I don't think it is. I think the guy who put this in previous was just like, you know what? I don't care. I'm just going to get this knocked out. But anyway, there's a bottom lip here that came off. Lots of metal lips on the top there that came off. And let's go ahead and finish getting all this stuff off. I got to get that screw off right there so I can take this lip off. And then I'll show you what it looks like when this is out. My plan is to take this right here, because I can't back it up because these pipes are in the way and I'm not going to cut them, is I'm just going to kind of twist this and twerk this thing back and forth like this until I can just get enough room that I can actually get in here. I thought, well, maybe I'll just bend this thing, because I could do that. I just bend this over, actually. But I don't know if I want to sit there and do that as a just in case. To tell you the truth, I might be able to do that. Bend it just enough, get a bungee cord around here or something, and then hold it so I can do what I need to do. Then I can get that pan in fairly easy. Yeah, I think I might do that. As long as I get in from this side and get those screws out so this thing can be unattached, we should be golden. We should be good to go. I might not have to move this whole thing. I might have just enough in here that I can do what I need to do. Let's take a look. Okay, there's one of my sheet metal screws. Heat exchanger and everything looks fantastic, by the way. This is not that old of a unit. It's just whoever put this pan in, either they were in a rush, or it was an amateur, or both. Or it was a pro, and he just decided he didn't give a crap, which seems to be what I run into all the time. You just got to be extra careful here. Get this screw out of there. I don't want that to fall in there. Just like it was missing screws in this unit and everything. It's like, come on, guys. You know, really? Is it that hard to do the job correctly? Please. You know, please. Just, you're getting paid. Just do it right. Why do you got to take breaks? You know, why do you got to do it the easy way for everything? I'm going to do it the easy way. To the point where you screw your customer. But of course, when you're down the road in your truck and you're fixing the next unit and making money, I guess you don't care, right? These fittings were junk that were in here prior. And these are actually PEX fittings, so these aren't even the right fittings for it. But the reason these were chose is because of the opening on these. See where the plastic is? This little lip inside there? It's much smaller diameter, or much larger diameter hole, so the water can run out when it needs to. The other one was such a small hole, it was almost like a 3/8 drill bit size hole, and that just wasn't enough. And the water just rests in this pan and never drains out. It takes forever for it to drain. And obviously, as this pan fills up with water, you know, it'll rise and it'll go out the hole. But I want the water to rise and go out the hole faster. I don't want it to, not fast to the point where it floods everything, but fast to the point where, you know, it gets out of this stupid pan. I don't want water resting inside this pan. So anyway, now that this is what it is, I'm going to go ahead and bolt this back together for strength for this, and I think I can lift this the way it is, and then with a helper, get another pan in here. My only concern is this metal that's underneath here, getting that resting. Here, you got this metal right here, get that metal into the new pan, but I mean, I'll get it figured out. Otherwise, the 2x4 method, like I said, you know, just enough to prop it up. A lot of these fins are bent, and that had nothing to do with me. Again, that was probably from the install. The guy was probably like, you know, holding this and pushing his thumb here, because that's exactly what it reminds me of. Like, come on, I got to get this stupid thing in here. I got to get done. Hacks, right? Hacks, isn't that what they call them? Anyway, let's get this opened up a little more and I'll show you what everything looks like. All right, let me show what this looks like. All the way over, out of the way. All right, unit is supported with a 2x4 and some nylon rope and some laundry line rope. It's really not that heavy of a unit. There's the inside. Everything looks fantastic in there. So now the other pan's going to get done. I got a helper, so it makes it a lot easier. But I found sheet metal screws and everything in here, so whoever did this job previously, they half-assed it, let's be honest. Everything looks really good. I mean, I don't see any splits or anything. It reminds me of exhaust pipes on a car. So anyway, this is supported. We're going to go ahead and get the new pan in. This is the metal plate. You can see where the crack was on this pan. Went all the way through. And then this is the new pan. So the plate basically goes like this. And then this side goes as such. There we go. And there you have it. So I'm going to bend that tab back, and then this is going to go in. I'm going to put the fittings in, and I'll show you what everything looks like after it's all put back together. I also have to get this area right here cleaned up, because you can see that this was put on haphazardly and half-assed too. It's not even really on there all that well. It's like this is supposed to be like sealant, and it's not done all that well. It's laid out fantastic right there, but not right here. But I'm going to be putting some heat tape, seal tape around here anyway, to make sure that all this seals up. But it's not like it's going to hurt anything. I just think that if you're going to do the job, just do it right. Okay, get all this crap out of here. And this is what's supposed to hold that pan, which is why it's so flimsy. I mean, you just got these little metal lips, and you know, how good are they? So that's that. All right, the unit is in. The only problem that I have, because I can't get everything off over here, is I cannot get the two back screws that are, you know, just like this. They're fairly long. I can't get that in on the other side. I'm trying to pull that up and get that pan, you know, basically locked up in here like this one is, but I can't do it. I tried and tried and tried, and the screw holes just will not line up. They line up, but they're down, and I'm afraid if I go at an angle and then pull it up, it's going to crack that plastic, and then, you know, I'm just back in square one. So I'm going to try it without, and if there is an issue, I can always take this back apart, and I can go ahead and fix and do whatever I need to do with it. But right now, I'm going to start getting this thing all pieced back together. I mean, missing screws everywhere. I got places to go, things to do, people to meet. So, but yeah, this is all in here, and then this thing, somebody tried to torque a screw in there and they snapped it off. You see right there, that hole, it's inside of here, and you can't screw that thing in any farther. I'd have to beat it with a hammer. It's just, again, shoddy workmanship. Somebody did a quick job. So I'm going to get it pieced back together, and that's it, and then this thing should function. I'll run it and double check it, but there should be no leaks after this. This right here, and of course seal tape. So I'll get it all buttoned up. All right, getting everything buttoned back up. Screw up there, screw up there, screw down here, screw down here. Okay. Make sure nothing got busted here. Oh, it's nice and cold. Man, it gets cold instantly. Holy mess. It really didn't spend a lot of time bending over the pieces. It was just like a rush job. Now I want to see what happens. Shouldn't be any drips. It's a new pan. These pieces are back on. That's not going anywhere. That's why it's zip tight, because it's slightly smaller than what they should be. Alright. hear it. Doesn't sound like there's any leaks. Doesn't look like there's any leaks. Nothing's flying out. Fittings are good. I'm going to be putting seal tape around all this again. I just had to make sure that this is going to do what it needs to do. One of the ways to know for sure after I button this back up, before I put the seal tape on all over the place, is I'll be able to check underneath the furnace.